The private prosecution matter initiated by former President Jacob Zuma against State Prosecutor Downer and journalist Karyn Maughan, it continues today at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Zuma insisting that Downer leaked confidential medical records to Maughan 2 years ago, but the state says this medical information was already part of the public court record and did not indicate the nature of illness of the former president and that illness he may have been facing at that time. Well, let's get some detail now, and we're joined by Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan, who is at the court for us. Karinda, good morning to you. So there have been various appeals by the former president on this matter because the courts have thrown it out a couple of times, but he insists on bringing it back. And so take us through this journey and where we are right now.
Certainly. Good morning, Oli. Well, this private prosecution matter goes back to September 2021, when the former president asked for a postponement in the arms deal trial at the time, and he sent in a medical note. At that time, he raised concern that that medical note was leaked by State Prosecutor Downer to journalist Karyn Maughan. In the months that followed, Zuma would open a criminal case or criminal charges against Downer and Maughan, but the NPA, the National Prosecuting Authority, declined to prosecute in the matter. Instead, they issued Zuma with a certificate for him to go on with a private prosecution. Now, in June this year, this High Court, a full bench of judges at this Pietermaritzburg High Court, dismissed Zuma's bid for a private prosecution, stating that the medical note in question was part of court public records at the time. But also, it was understood that Zuma would go on to appeal the High Court's dismissal of his private prosecution. So this court also then granted an order to both Karyn Maughan and Downer that would ultimately protect them from further private prosecution by Zuma. It's called an enforcement order. Zuma went on to appeal the initial dismissal by this High Court regarding his private prosecution summons. He went on to appeal to the Supreme Court of Appeal and ultimately the Constitutional Court, all which dismissed his leave to appeal the High Court's dismissal of summons. He then also went on to appeal that enforcement order. He appealed at the Supreme Court of Appeal, which very recently dismissed that, and last week he told this court that he would be further appealing to the Constitutional Court. So it's two appeals process that was lodged, and currently he's waiting for an answer on the most recent appeal of that enforcement order. Now, this is important for him because this private prosecution matter ultimately is the basis of his second application to have Downer removed as a state prosecutor in this case, which was heard last week. Judgment has been reserved, meaning we'll wait for Judge Nkosinathi to announce at a later stage his decision on whether Downer should be recused from this matter. Quite a while ago, when this private prosecution matter sat at this court, it was postponed to this date. And just last week, all parties involved said that they would sit today to decide on a way forward. The state, meaning Downer and Karyn Maughan, they want, or representatives for Karyn Maughan, they want this matter to be struck off the roll, considering various court levels, various judiciary levels have said that this matter is part of Stalingrad tactics. However, the former president, through his legal representatives, say that this matter must go forward, especially because there is now that one appeals process remaining, despite the fact that he has lost several appeals at the court already. Remember, this is still part of the arms deal trial that has been going on for several years now, and ultimately is somewhat delaying this trial process because of the fact that we have to wait now to hear what the Constitutional Court has to say about this private prosecution matter.
Karinda Jagmohan giving us the detail that has surrounded this particular case lodged by the former president against State Prosecutor Downer and journalist Karyn Maughan. Thank you very much to Karinda Jagmohan.